Friends, welcome to the year 2026. But wait a second, has it really been 2026 years since the birth of Jesus? That's not even certain. According to most sources, Jesus was born between 4 and 6 BC, and there isn't even a year zero. We jump directly from 1 BC to AD 1. Yes, our calendar system is a bit ridiculous. And I'm guessing you're wondering why I'm talking about this today, right? Because today we're going on a magnificent journey through human history. Now I'm going to tell you something that sounds like a joke, but is actually true. There are quite a lot of people who believe that humanity has only existed for 26 years. Yes, people really think that. This seriously bothers me because it creates a completely false perception. So now we're setting off on an incredible journey toward the most important moments in human history. Our first stop is Shanlurfa. We're going to Göbekli Tepe, to the zero point of history. Back in 1963, people suspected that something unusual was happening there, but no one knew exactly what it was. Then the excavations began, and human history was rewritten from scratch. Göbekli Tepe was built 12,000 years ago. Can you imagine that? 12,000 years ago. This discovery completely shattered the idea that civilization began around 3000 to 4000 BC. In a way, Göbekli Tepe was where humanity shouted to the universe, much more powerfully, "We are here too." But wait a second, we can't forget the Chauvet Cave in France. There, people from 30,000 years ago are waving at us. The handprints on the cave walls are considered the oldest consciously left traces of human beings. They're saying, "Hello, future, I was here." Isn't that incredible? Now let's go back again to 12,000 years ago. During this period, humanity begins to domesticate nature. In the Levant region, covering today's Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Palestine, and Egypt, we start cultivating wheat, grains, and lentils. Naturally, we've grown tired of hunting, tired of constantly migrating. It's time to settle down. And in 9100 BC, in Kirokitia, located in present-day southern Cyprus, the earliest known agricultural society is established. This settling down process feels so good to people that everything starts coming one after another, like pulling a loose thread. Sheep are domesticated, then goats, pigs. We no longer have much intention of going anywhere. And by the 4000s BC in Mesopotamia, especially in what we now know as Iraq, the first cities are founded. According to legends, the Sumerians founded Eridu, the world's oldest city, around 6000 BC. After that, Uruk, Lagash, and Ur become some of the largest cities in the world. Now things really start accelerating. Living together, reaching prosperity, settling down, not risking your life just to eat. Thanks to all this, we also witness the birth of innovation. Around 3500 BC, the first wheeled vehicles emerge in Mesopotamia. Soon after, the first writing systems are born. Cuneiform in Mesopotamia, hieroglyphs in Egypt, the Indus script in the region of present-day Afghanistan. Humanity, settled in different regions, begins inventing things and recording experiences using symbols and writing. I want to leave you with a sad note. Isn't it heartbreaking to see the current state of the regions where all these discoveries that shaped the modern world emerged? Anyway, that's a different topic. Then humanity can't help itself. Things grow bigger, and massive structures begin to rise. In the 2000s BC, the Great Pyramid is built. Around the same time, ziggurats rise in Iran, Stonehenge in England, pyramids in China, and the Newgrange temples in Ireland. The fact that such structures rise at the same time in different geographies shows something. Humanity no longer fits on Earth. It wants to shout its existence. Of course, living together comes with responsibilities. In 1754 BC, the Code of Hammurabi appears. The Babylonian king Hammurabi says, "When the god Marduk sent me to rule the people, I established law and justice in the land." And he lays down a series of laws. These laws prove that the problems created by living together had increased. Then right next to Mesopotamia, around 800 BC, ancient Greek civilization is born. and we begin to witness the first major wars. The Persians and the Greeks engage in long-lasting conflicts. Eventually, Greek civilization flourishes, and tragedy is born. In 429 BC, Sophocles' Oedipus the King is staged in Athens. We encounter the first organized practice of art. During the same period, Herodotus writes his history book documenting the Greco-Persian Wars. Efforts to record history become widespread, and human memory, collective memory, grows stronger. While all this is happening in Athens, Roman civilization is being born in Italy. These two giant civilizations, Greek and Roman, lay the foundations of civilization through wars, philosophy, thought, art, and sports. In the 400s BC, the Hippocratic Oath emerges. Plato establishes the Academy, and Aristotle opens the Lyceum, the original version of what we today call high school. And of course, belief systems emerge as well. Ancient Egyptian beliefs, Confucianism in China, Hinduism and Buddhism in India, later Christianity, and finally Islam. We witness the birth of countless religions and belief systems. While Europe enters the Dark Ages, an incredible enlightenment begins in the Middle East. Al-Khwarizmi, Biruni, Khayyam, Battani, Farazi, and many others lay the foundations of science, scientific thinking, and the scientific method. Robotics, optics, physics, mathematics. By building upon ancient Greek, Chinese, and Indian texts, they ignite a tremendous intellectual awakening. While all this is happening, somewhere a man named Genghis Khan emerges and completely disrupts the world's gears. In some regions, he destroys centuries of accumulated knowledge, books, and heritage. But the Enlightenment spreading from the Middle East does not fade away. It first spreads to Europe, and from there ignites a great movement that will reach the entire world. At this very moment, Osman Bey plants the seeds of one of the most magnificent empires history has ever seen. The period after the 1200s is one of major turning points. From this point on, humanity shifts into a much higher gear in every sense. So come on, let's shift gears too. In the 1200s, Marco Polo travels the world, and stories spread everywhere. In Mexico, the Aztecs build a magnificent civilization. Then a massive dark cloud descends over Europe. The Black Death, the plague. 1/3 of the population disappears, an absolutely terrifying period. But from this dreadful darkness, the Renaissance is born. Right after the plague ends in 1348, a brand new era begins in Italy in 1350. An unbelievable period. Art, architecture, music, engineering. Botticelli, Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael. A massive enlightenment arrives. As this period continues, Johannes Gutenberg invents the printing press in Germany. Boom! Knowledge begins spreading everywhere like a virus. Remember when we talked about collective memory? Well, this is the real revolution. Then Sultan Mehmed enters the stage, conquers Istanbul, and becomes the conqueror. The final nail is driven into the coffin of the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium. One era closes and a completely new one begins. In Renaissance-illuminated Europe, new names start emerging. Kepler, Copernicus, Galileo. Galileo looks into the heavens through a telescope, and truths we believed for thousands of years are shaken. The telescope becomes our third eye. It shows us our place, who we are, and reminds us of our limits. Then Isaac Newton appears and explains what we see. The motion of planets, gravity, mathematics. We begin deciphering the language of the universe. What follows is a magnificent revolution, development, and transformation. I think simply listing names is enough to understand this transformation. In the 1400s, Leonardo da Vinci, Copernicus, Gutenberg. In the 1500s, Giordano Bruno, Galileo, Kepler, Francis Bacon. In the 1600s, Isaac Newton, Leibniz, Robert Boyle, Descartes, Pascal. In the 1700s, Lavoisier, James Watt, Alessandro Volta, Euler. In the 1800s, Faraday, Maxwell, Darwin, Pasteur, Mendeleev, Tesla, Planck. In the 1900s, Einstein, Niels Bohr, Marie Curie, Alan Turing, Feynman, Schrödinger, Fermi, Fleming, Heisenberg. These are just some of the key figures. They didn't just add stones to a structure built over thousands of years. Each of them built an entire building. So what happened next? Cars, airplanes, rockets? We reached the moon. Computers, the internet, phones. And here we are now. Considering all this, can we really say, welcome to 2026? This is a 300,000-year legacy. Sometimes people ask, what has humanity done in 300,000 years? What do you mean, what have they done? Surviving was already an incredible achievement. Before we settled down, we can only imagine what humanity endured. But if we're here today, that alone is extraordinary. Let's celebrate it. We stand on the legacy of 100 billion people. Each of us is a part of this magnificent story. And this story is still ongoing. So no, friends, it's not welcome to 2026. It's welcome to the final stop of a 300,000-year magnificent journey. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like, because you are also a part of this story. See you next time, and as always, I'm glad you exist.